is unlooped, so you just have like the long strap with two tails on each end. Just a good little setup before we get moving. So my name is Kelly. It's good to see you all this morning. In studio, y'all are super spread out. You're gonna get me like, I'm gonna get my walking in this morning. But it's good to see all of you. I'm taking you all in for a second. And Heather's coming with her strap. Cool. So we're in for 60 minutes together this morning in this nice heated room. An announcement before we get started is starting on January, I lost my paper, I think it's January 24th, 40 Days to a Personal Revolution, which is a 40-day program at the studio, is starting up. So it's 40 days of asana, which you're about to do, meditation, inquiry, which is essentially just journaling, and then a weekly meeting with one of the yoga teachers where the people who are involved in that 40-day program are all meeting up and connecting. And it's a program that's really about building habit around practice. And I know for myself, when I first started practicing, it was pretty like on and off and on and off and on and off. And I remember teachers talking about how it was, you could expect to feel better in your body, you could expect to have less pain with movement, and things would become easeful. And when I was on and off and on and off, I was sore all the time. I remember thinking like, what are these people talking about? I do not feel that way ever. And it wasn't until I became consistent in my practice that I actually got access to, like the poses becoming more easeful and more consistent and being able to progress in my practice. So there's something really powerful that comes out of not just the practice that we're about to do, but doing that practice consistently, like 5 days a week, something like that. And for those of you who are consistent, I know there's quite a few of you who are very consistent in your practice. Those other practices of meditation and inquiry add a different layer to your practice. Meditation as an access to getting present and concentrating, building up your ability to concentrate in the practice. And inquiry is just the best way to describe it is a better flashlight. You just have like a higher powered flashlight for seeing what's going on and why it's going on your mat, but also off your mat. So that starts January 24th. If you have questions about it, ask me. And other than that, let's go ahead and get started. We'll see what we're up to this morning, and we'll do that in child's pose. Good. Settle your hips back onto your heels. Stretch your hands forward. Take your hands wide enough that your shoulders have the ability to open up. Your head, the ability to relax down into the mat. Keep your eyes open and then take 5 deep breaths in and out. With every inhale, feel your body lift and expand. And with every exhale, feel your body soften and settle. Downward facing dog. It's good. Move around. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Feel out your feet. And even do that until the temperature in your feet, like you can feel the tissues in your feet go up a couple degrees. So warm up your feet. Warm up the back of your legs a little bit, like get the temperature to rise. And then once you feel like you've gotten a little bit of heat through your feet, then land your pose. Press down for your foundation. So fingertips, all 10 of them, press them into the floor, down and forward. Press your big toe mounds down into the floor. And then from your hands and your feet pressing down, zip up through to the pit of your belly. So you're building up now that you're like your relationship with the floor. By pressing and rooting, and from rooting rising up through your arms, up through your legs. Pit of the belly up towards your spine. Now breathe. A couple more breaths. I love this pose. It creates so much like good heat in my arms and in the back of my legs. It just already feels like things are decompressing. Give that one more breath. We'll be here a lot, right? Blow all the air out. And then step up to the top of your mat. At the top, lift halfway up. Inhale. And then exhale, ragdoll pose. Exhale. Good. Dangle down. Set your foundation up through your feet. Now look around. I see really good 12 o'clock feet. Feet hip width distance. Some of you can go a little bit wider. Hip width is 2 fists. For some of you, it's a little bit wider than that. Yep. And then as you set your feet up now, bend your knees enough that you can press the center of each heel into the floor and you feel that press real deep. Keep your heels pressing down. Press your big toe mounds down into the mat. So you've got those 2 points pressing. Now what you'll notice, and today we're going to play with balancing, what you'll notice when you put in your true north in those 2 cues is your knees will dip into the center a little bit. You kind of notice how your knees buckled in. So there's this cue we use called outer shins in that sets your knees back up stacked over top of your shins. Your access point to that, big toe mounds down, heels down, keep that, is now squeeze your heels in towards the center of your mat. That's it. You'll feel your shins move in and your knees turn out a little bit. Breathe and feel for that. You can even play a little bit. Heels in, heels out, heels in, heels out. Get a feel for your feet and how your feet are impacting everything from the floor up into your core. Good. And then with your feet fully plugged down and in, take a breath in, blow all the air out, get empty, and press down through your feet, come rolling all the way up to stand. At the top, reach your arms up towards the ceiling, stretch up, look up, maybe go up and go back. Then exhale your hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Set an intention for your practice, and we'll begin together with 3 ohms. Inhale. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhale, plant your palms, step back high to low push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, back downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. Warm your body up from the inside out using your breath. Now last breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Feet to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Extended mountain pose. Press your feet down deep into the floor, then fold to the floor. Halfway lift up. Low push up, take it back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last breath in. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or jump, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain pose. Lift the sides of your body up towards your ears. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Set your eyes to a point. Even here, feel out your feet. 2 more breaths. And this one pose, feel your feet, your big toe mounts pressing down. Last breath in. Bend your knees. Jump, feet to your hands. Halfway lift, feel your feet into the floor. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Press down through your big toe, down through your heels, fold to the floor. Halfway lift up, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. You have 2 more sun A's. Set your attention on your feet and getting intentional about how you set your feet in each pose. Breath in, bend your knees, jump. Halfway lifts, fold. Extended mountain pose, press down through your feet, fold to the floor. Halfway lift up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths, 1 more sun A. 2 more. Arrange your foundation. Last breath in. Bend your knees. Jump. Halfway lifts. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Stretch up as high as you can. Fold all the way down. Drop your head heavy at the bottom. Lift halfway. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. 2 more. Plug down and in through your hands and feet. Last breath in. Bend your knees. Jump. Half lift. Fold. Chair pose. Bend your knees. Sit your hips way back. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot to your right thumb, warrior 1. Press both heels down into the floor. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Left foot, warrior 1. So see if you can just feel that. Your 2 heels, they both press down. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. 2 more. Last breath in. Bend your knees. Float feet to your hands. Halfway lift. And fold. Chair pose. Press down through your heels and fold to the floor. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Press back through your heels as you move to the low. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot, warrior 1. Press especially your back heel deep down into the floor. Low push up, flow. So you're waking up your awareness. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot. So not just waking up like your viscera, but where you look at your body. Low push up. Where you look, where you feel. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. 2 more. Last breath in. Bend your knees. Jump. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side, warrior 1. So maybe on this side now, heels down and the big toe mounts. Get those 2 points pressing down. Low push up. Good. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Left foot, warrior 1. Both heels, both big toes. Dig down. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. 2 more sunbees. Breath in. Bend your knees. Jump. Halfway lifts. Fold. Chair. Fold. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side, warrior 1. Press down, lunge deep, low push up. Upward facing dog. Down dog, left side, warrior 1. Just that one thing. Set your eyes, ground down through your feet. Low push-up flow. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Downward dog. 3 breaths. And you'll notice it takes so much of your attention to decide where your feet are going to go and what's going to press down. It takes all your attention. 2 more breaths. And that's what really begins to tune up your attention and your awareness. Take 1 more breath in. Bend your knees. Jump feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Notice your feet. And fold. Chair pose. Dig your feet down deep into the floor and fold to the floor. Lift halfway up. Low push-up, take it back. What are your feet doing? Check it out. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Right side warrior 1. Press down. Reach high. Low push-up. Go. Upward facing dog. Downward dog. Left side warrior 1. Bend your front knee over your front heel to lunge. Hands to the floor. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take your 3 breaths here. Feel your feet. Feel the floor through your feet as a shift, creating a shift in your looking and your listening. Take a breath in. Bend your knees, look forward. Jump, feet to your hands. Lift halfway and fold. Now listen close, chair pose. We're going to hold it. So come up to chair and hold. Feet on 12 o'clock. You've been working with your heels pressing down, your big toes pressing down. Now take that deeper. So if you're like, I've already got it, can you take it to a new level where your feet, your heels are actually pressing down through the floor to like an inch beneath the surface that you're actually touching? Your big toes do the same. Now squeeze your heels in towards center. That's it, to hug your outer shins in. That's perfect, Laura. Stay here and breathe. So you might start to feel some heat building up in your legs. Take a sigh if that becomes too much. Good. Take 1 more breath. Keep your alignment through your feet. Now your right foot will stay. Can you lift your left heel up? The tendency will be for your knee to buckle in, right? So now you're going to hug your heel into the center to keep your outer shin pulled in. Take a breath. Keep that. And tap your left foot behind you. Good. Come back up to your chair. You can just tap the toe and then take your leg behind you. So do that 2 more times. How much can you apply the alignment in your right foot that your right leg stays as stable as possible? Not perfect, but stable as possible. Good. With your next step back, hold it. Good. Step it back. You're in that bent knee, front foot pressed. Squeeze or wiggle your back heel back, coming into your crescent lunge. Keep your front knee over your front heel. Good. Go further back. It's like, Heather, go further back. You got a lot further back to go for your crescent. A lot of us are kind of here. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Go all the way back to your crescent lunge. Good. Now work your front foot. Apply your true north. And stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Press your front heel into the floor. And squeeze your front heel towards the middle of your mat. Take a breath in. Stretch up as high as you can. Now hands to heart center. Tip forward. And twist to the right side. 5 breaths. Opening your mouth and sighing is probably a good breath to plug in there as your front leg is building energy and vitality. Bend your front knee 1 or 2 more inches. Good. Here's your last breath in. Stay for the breath out. Now press down through your front foot. Crescent lunge. Come back up. Keep your knee bent, warrior 2. Spin your back heel down and in. See if you can keep your front knee bent. Good. And one of the tricks that has worked for me is a sigh. I've noticed that by sighing, the work of the pose doesn't become less, but the gripping and the tension that tends to happen, I can let go of that in the sigh. Good. Now work your feet. Set your eyes. You're good. You've got it. 1 more breath in. And tilt, extended side angle. Good. Press both heels deep down into the floor. Squeeze both heels in towards the center of your mat. And your last 2 breaths, bend your front knee forward and to the right. So go deeper in your lunge. Here's your last breath in, stretch. And then 2 hands to the floor, high to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Feel out your legs. Take a breath in. You might notice one leg feels a little bit different than the other one because of what we just did. Good. Now inhale, lift your heels up high. Bend your knees, look forward. Jump, feet up to your hands. Halfway lift and fold. Chair pose. Good. So in your chair, set your feet. Feet on 12 o'clock. Good. Greg, take your heels just a little bit wider. Good. Press the center of each heel down. Press the big toe mound of each foot down. So go with your attention and feel that that's happening in your feet on the floor. Squeeze your heels in towards center to hug your outer shins in. Good. Now press your left foot. Keep your left foot like this. Lift your right heel up. You'll have to turn up your alignment in your left leg when you start to lose the right leg. Feel for that. Good. Step your right foot towards the back of your mat. Tap. And then bring your right foot back up. Do that 3 more times. And you do your very best to minimize your wobbling. And some wobbling is going to be part of the journey. Breathe. Breathe a lot. The next time you step back, right? Next time you step back, it doesn't seem like it should be so challenging, but it is. That's balancing. Take your foot all the way back now, crescent lunge. Good. Press both feet down. Stretch both arms up. Take a full breath in. Hands to heart center, hinge forward, and twist to the left side. Good. Now reground your front foot. Press your heel. Press your big toe mounds. Squeeze both heels in towards the center of your mat. 2 more breaths. Good. Will then press your big toe mound down. That's it. Breath in. Will then everyone breathe out. Inhale up, crescent lunge. And open to warrior 2. Keep your front knee bent. Good. Sighs. Yeah. Sighs. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face. Notice how the sighs even help you settle back down into your feet a little bit more. Now tilt, extended side angle. Take a sigh to settle down into your heels. Beautiful. Down into your big toes, and now squeeze your heels towards each other. Feel how it just pulls the earth up through your legs into your pelvis. Then from your pelvis, stretch all the way up through your top hand. Take a big breath in. Hands to the floor, high to low, push-up flow. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in. Blow all the air out. Look forward. Step or jump. Feet up to your hands. Lift halfway and fold to the floor. Chair pose. Set your feet. Good. Feet on 12 o'clock. Some of you heels wider to start. And then hug your heels in towards center. Good. Prayer twist to the right side. Good. Work your feet. Heels in towards center especially. So you're hugging your heels to center. Hug your outer shins in. Good, Beth. Hug your heels to center. It's just your heels. Keep squeezing your heels into center more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Right there. Now 2 more breaths. Breath in. Stay for the out. Chair pose. Keep your hips back. Reach up and fold. Fingers to toes. Forward fold. Good. Stay plugged through your feet. And allow your spine, your head, your upper body to melt over the top of your legs and down towards the floor. And I love it. I can see Greg swing a little side to side. Some of that movement can be really nice just to unlock some flow and some tension. Good. And then release, chair pose. Set your feet. Squeeze your heels in towards center. So Nancy, squeeze your heels in more. Just your heels. Good. And I know it's happening because what I watch is the knees start to stack and the shins gather up and underneath. Cool. Hands to heart center. Twist to the left side. Feel how your body, the default is for your knee, especially your right knee, to cave in. Feel for that default happening. Now press down through your heels and squeeze them into center. That's it, to recreate and establish the stability up through your knees and up through your hips. Now 2 more breaths. Press your seat back and stretch your head forward. Breath in, stay for the out, chair pose, reach up, and fold, gorilla pose. Step onto your feet. Rather, step onto your hands. Drop your head all the way down, nod your head yes, shake your head no. Let some tension go, let some thinking go. Good. And then step off your hands, crow pose, or handstand at the top of your mat. Good. Plant your palms flat. Knees up high on the outer parts of your arms. Feet together. So even if your feet are on the floor, bring them together. That's it, Wilden. Good, Heather. Now squeeze your heels towards each other. Breathe. 2 more. Take 1 more breath in, and on the exhale, step or float it back. Low push up. Upward facing dog, roll your shoulders up and back. Downward facing dog, press it all the way back. Breath in, breath out. Listen close. Walk your hands to the back of your mat. To the back of your mat. At the back of your mat, lift halfway. Fold down all the way. Then press down through your feet, roll up to stand. Extended mountain pose from the back of your mat, reach up. And then exhale your hands to your hips. Cool. So hands at your hips, feet hip width distance apart. Step your left foot up to the middle of your mat, left foot. So you have like a really short crescent lunge, super short. Set your left foot up. So you have a good position now where you can look at your foot. 12 o'clock. Press the center of the heel down. You'll have to bend your knee. I find that you always have to bend your knee to get your heel. And then press your big toe down. Got that? Now squeeze your front heel in towards the middle of your mat. Cool. You're going to keep all that. Now lift your back toe 1 millimeter off the mat. So you're going to minimize how far forward you lean. Can you stay exactly as you are and lift your back foot 1 inch? Stay exactly where you are and then lift your foot up 1 inch. You're going to go up and down a couple times. So as I do this, like my knee wants to go in. It wants to do this. This is what makes balancing challenging. Squeeze your heel in to keep your leg stacked. Good. Nancy, really squeeze your heel to center. That's it. Now the next time you lift, you're going to hold it. Lift and hold. Good. Wrap your right leg over. Eagle. Can you keep your leg as it was? So now your top leg is even starting to push your knee in towards center. Can you squeeze your heel in and press your knee out against your top leg? Good. If you haven't bounced your arms, do that now. Right arm under. Breathe and soften. Even as you concentrate, can you soften your edges? Take 1 more breath. And then step down. At the middle of your mat, reach your arms up. Take a new breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now you'll step your right foot up to the top of your mat, top edge, and set your top foot up at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Press the center of the heel down. Press the big toe mound down. As soon as I hit the big toe, that's when my knee buckles in. And then pull your heel to center, outer shin in. Beautiful. Can you stay right here now? Take it as like a game. Can I stay right here and lift my back foot up 1 inch? So lift it up a little bit and then tap it down a little bit. And I notice I do have to rock a little bit. So just, what is the least amount you have to rock to lift your back foot up? Looking good at home. Good. Beth and Kevin, work your front foot more so there's minimal rocking when you lift your foot. Minimal. Now lift your foot and hold it. Press your standing heel down, hug your standing heel to center, wrap your left leg up and over eagle pose. Yeah, and your foot will start to kind of unplug a little bit. Take a sigh and replug your standing foot. Gravity's working in your favor. Take a sigh and settle into gravity. Take one more breath. And then step down 2 feet at the top of your mat. Grab your strap and sit up for a standing single leg raise. So with your strap in hand, set your left foot up as we've just been working on it and lift your right knee up to hip height. So what I see happen a lot is this starts to happen, and to compensate, we all turn our toe out so our knee doesn't buckle in, okay? Instead, keep your foot at 12, lift your knee. As your knee starts to buckle, press your heel down and squeeze your standing heel towards center. And that's new, okay. Loop the strap around your right foot and then extend your right foot forward. Good, Laura, 12 o'clock your foot, you turned out a little bit. You'll do your best, right? Good, Nancy, 12 o'clock your foot. Greg, see if you can 12 o'clock your foot. Good. Now a sigh, settle into your standing heel. You might need to bend your standing knee a little bit to do that. And as you press your heel down, lift up through the pelvis to the crown. Good, Heather. Take 2 more breaths. And yeah, be willing to struggle with it a little bit. It's new. 1 more breath in. Good. Release the strap. Hug your knee up into your chest. Airplane pose. Send your foot to the back. The tendency again will be for the knee to buckle in. Press your heel. Squeeze your heel to center as you kick your left leg up and back. Good. Heather, bend your front knee. Press your heel and your big toe of the standing foot down. Good. Now hands to heart center, half moon. Left hand to the floor or a block or a humongous water bottle. I like that, Wilden. That's perfect. He's got like a column to lean on. Beautiful. Press your standing foot. Stretch back through your lifted foot. Good, Damien. And now reach all the way up through your top arm. Can you turn your chest up that you're reaching so high? Take a big breath in. And 2 feet to the floor and fall. So right about now, your right butt cheek is on fire, right? So you give that a little chop. Sometimes it can feel good to just move side to side and let some of that heat out. Good, and then press down through your feet. Grab your strap, come all the way up to stand. And we'll do it all on the left side. Right, when we work with our toe turned out, it's easier. It's kind of easy to hang out here because your joints end up holding you up. But putting in these action principles, you're building up the strength in your body. So you'll set up your right foot, lift your left foot, strap and extend. You're setting up strength in your body that holds your legs in alignment. And what you ultimately plug into is this capacity for the center of your body to become a source of foundation. So as you breathe, take some sighs and settle, feel how now your hips and your ribs are able to be stacked. And there's a sense of stability at the center of your body that isn't there when your foot's turning out. Good. Give it 1 more breath. And then release. Hug your left knee into your chest. Airplane pose. Kick it back. Can you keep your right foot plugged as you send your left heel to the back of the room? And it might be that your back toe stays on the floor. It doesn't even have to lift all the way up. Get to your edge where you're challenged. And then bring your hands to heart center, half moon. Right hand to the floor, left arm to the sky. Stay plugged through your standing foot. So if your foot feels like it is burning, you need a sigh. Relax your jaw, relax your face, relax the grip with your toes. It's like, Lord, yeah, a little bit. Good. Take one more breath in, stretch all the way up and out, and then 2 feet to the floor and fold. Good. Wag it out, right? Move a little side to side. Get that booty burn to go away a little bit. And then grab your strap. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Dancer pose on the right side. So we'll play with the overhead grip. You've got all this good work now through your standing leg. You'll bend your right knee, strap your right ankle, kick back, and pause right there. Just going to hold this one position. Have the strap be tight enough that your arms are straight, and that when you go to kick, you have a sense of everything being taut. If you're too loose here, like I can't get the strap to grip anything because it's too loose. So go tight enough that the strap is gripping when you press back. Cool. Now plant your standing foot, heel, big toe, and squeeze your heel towards center. You can stay right here. Or the next step is turn your elbows down and your hands up like a letter W. So I, for one, start to lose my foundation. So you take a sigh and then reapply True North through the standing foot. Okay, then you can stay there. Or the last step is turn your elbows up. You can look straight forward or drop your chin towards your chest, look down. And take 3 more breaths right there. Sighs are good. Any amount of burning that you feel or like excessive work, sigh. Bring on ease. 1 more breath in, and then step out of the pose. Really good. Feet to the floor, sway side to side, give yourself a breath, right? And then other side, dancer pose. Bend your left knee, strap your left ankle, set your right foot intentionally. I love it. I can see everyone looking down, seeing what their foot's doing. That's it. Now tighten up on the strap. Good. Go through your steps. So arms can be back. Then create the W. Good, Nancy. Then elbows go up. Now breathe. Laura, bend your standing knee a little bit and sink the heel. Yeah. 2 more breaths. Take 1 more breath in, and then step all the way out of the pose. Beautiful. Drop the strap at the top of your mat, tree pose, right foot to your left inner thigh. Put the same amount of attention on your standing foot that you've been applying throughout. And I usually find the more and more that I apply True North, the more and more it just starts to happen almost like a new default. Then stretch your arms up. You can look up. You can play that edge and start to go up and go back. So can you work your standing foot and that foundation enough that as you go back, you're rooted? Take 1 more breath. Stretch all the way up through your fingertips. And then 2 feet to the top of your mat. Tree pose, switch sides. Beautiful. Soften your standing knee enough that your heel sinks down into the floor. And then stretch your arms up. And squeeze your standing heel in towards center. It's like Lisa at home. Imagine there's a block on the inside of your standing heel and squeeze into that block. Yeah. Soften your knee enough. Yell. Now press down. Hug in, heel and foot. Reach all the way out through the top of your head, through your fingertips. Stretch. And then step down 2 feet at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Check out your feet. What are they doing? Low push-up, take it back. See if you can feel them as you move through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot up between your hands. Triangle pose. 3 breaths. Front foot at 12 o'clock. Back foot at 9 o'clock. Press down your heel, your big toe, and squeeze both heels in towards center to zip your legs up into your core. And then press down through your feet, come all the way up to stand. 10 toes face the left long side of your mat. Fold, side facing, wide-legged forward fold. Go wide enough with your feet that your head has a fair shot of touching the floor. A fair shot, right? May not touch, but go wide enough that it could. And now you'll get wide and your feet will start to slip, right? So press your feet down in the way you just learned how to keep your feet grounded and planted. Now balance the work as your feet press down and your legs fire up. Can you relax your upper body and your head and bring on that sense of sukha, ease? Good. Breath in. With the breath out, catch your waist, blow all the air out, press your feet down, and inhale, stand up. Turn to the front, reverse namaste, front facing forward fold. You can catch your hips, you can set the bind, ground down through your feet, lift up through your heart, and on the exhale, fold over your front thigh. So good pose to look at your front foot. You're getting real close now, and see. Heel pressing down, big toe pressing down, and heel squeezing in towards the center line of your mat. Laura, go longer with your stance. Go long. So now that you have these tools with your feet, you can go long without slipping. Good. Bend your front knee a little bit more. So yeah, now your heel will press. Press down through your heel. Swing your right hip up and back. Good. Drop your hands, twisting triangle pose. Good. Press down through your front foot. Keep applying all those points. Squeeze your heel in towards center. So squeeze in towards my finger with your heel. That's it. Use that to pull your right hip up and back. Now top of your head forward. Get as long as you can through your spine. Take a breath in, get long. On the exhale, twist left rib under right. 2 hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Take one breath in and out. And then step your left foot between your hands, triangle pose. 3 breaths. Good. I can see Laura like untucking her toes. That's good. That's always a good sign you've really got your feet grounded, is when your toes can be relaxed. A little more relaxed at least. Breath in, breath out. Press down, stand up, face the right long side of your mat, side facing wide-legged forward fold. Go wide with your feet. Open up your base. Press down through your feet. 12 o'clock your feet. So make them parallel. Yep. Soften your knees. That's it. Then release your sitting bones up and back. Release your head all the way down towards the floor. Heavy head. Long open spine. And then catch your waist, press down, stand up, turn forward, reverse namaste, long stance. A lot of us are getting really short. Go long. Think 3 feet, maybe even 4 feet. That's probably a little too long, but go long, and then fold over a long base. Work your feet into the floor. The short base relies on the ground and just like a tightness to kind of hold you up. You've got more here. You've got strength now to hold you up. And now as you apply that strength and that alignment, that's where things really begin to open up. Drop your hands, twisting triangle pose. Really good. Squeeze your front heel in towards the center of your mat. That's it. To pull your left outer hip up and back. Yeah, and now you'll start to feel something going on, like new information through your legs. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. 2 hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Flow through, upward facing. Downward dog if you're throwing through vinyasa. Everyone come out to high plank. High plank and lower all the way down to the floor. Locust. Keep your toes tucked. Stretch your arms back, palms down. On the inhale, press back through your heels. Stretch your chest forward to lift up. And then roll your shoulders up onto your upper back. Take a breath in, get long, and lower all the way down to the floor. One breath here. And then second set, locust. Press down, lift up. Stretch your heels for the back of the room. Breath in, lower all the way down. Take a breath, soften. And then next up is floor bow. Bend your knees, catch your ankles. Flex your feet. Press your shins back towards the back of the room and press your feet up towards the ceiling as though you're standing on the ceiling. So you'll flex your left foot so you can get to the ankle. Good. Now heel pressing up, big toe pressing up as though it's the floor. Good. Breathe. Relax your shoulders or shoulder as much as you can. Last breath in and lower it all the way down. Get one breath on the floor. And then second set or second side. Bow, bend, catch, and go. 5 breaths. So even tuck this foot. So this gives you some grounding. Good. Big toe presses up the best you can. 2 more breaths. Open your breathing up. Breath in and lower it all the way down. Plant your palms beside your lowest ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Come peeling up. Downward facing dog. Press it back. Breath in. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or jump to a seat. Bridge pose. Gave me a idea where we're going. We're going to skip that one this morning. Bridge pose. Lie all the way back. Plant your feet 12 o'clock and hip width distance apart. And then press your feet down, lift your hips up. Feel your feet. So you spent so much time kind of looking and feeling and applying alignment. Now feel how that alignment, like you can go there with your felt sense and know what your feet are doing. That's awareness that you've built through your practice. Press your heels down. Press your big toe mounds down. Now squeeze your heels to center to hug your outer shins in. Good. Keep your feet working. Lift your right knee up into your chest. Did you lose your left foot? Check that and reapply your alignment through your left foot. Lift your left toes. Loosen, lift the left toes. So Laura, lift your left toes, the bottom toes up. Yeah. Loosen those toes up. Now send your right heel up to the ceiling. Kick up. Right heel goes up. Take a breath in. 2 feet to the floor, butt to the floor. Come all the way down. Get one breath. Clear that. Bridge pose. Come on up and set your feet. So have it that to the best of your ability, you're going to keep your feet aligned and grounded like this. Lift your right heel off the floor. Scratch that. Lift your left heel off the floor. Just the heel. Just start with the heel. Now apply it through your left foot. Really press your left foot down into the floor. Align. Now can you pull your left knee into your chest? Check back in on your grounded foot. Align. Now can you press your heel up to the ceiling? Check in on your grounded foot. Is it aligned? And then 2 feet to the floor, butt to the floor. Come all the way down. Take a breath in. Blow it out. Bridge pose. We've got 3 more to go. Bridge pose. You can stay in bridge or set your hands wide and deep for wheel pose. Press all the way up. Feet on 12 o'clock. Heels dig down into the floor. Big toe mounds into the floor. Squeeze your heels in towards center. Gather your outer shins in. Take a breath in and lower it all the way down to the floor. Get breath. Clear it out. Bridge your wheel. Come on up. Align your feet. Here is where we start to lose our feet. Reapply alignment through your feet as a powerful way to access awakening, igniting through your whole body. Take a breath in and lower it down to the floor. You've got one more. Get a breath. Clear it out. Set it up. Bridge or wheel and lift up. Good. Be uncompromising in the way that you set your feet. Uncompromising. Nancy, heels wider. Yes. Press your heels down. Press your big toes down. Squeeze your heels to center. Take a big breath in. Tuck your chin, come all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha. Good. Feet together, knees flop open. Take a breath. Dead bug pose. Good. Bring your knees back to center. Catch the back of your thighs. Rock and roll forward and back 3 times. And on the third one, come back to downward facing dog. 1, 2, 3, down dog. We're not skipping core. Don't worry. I sensed you were worrying about it. Downward facing dog. And then come out to high plank. From high plank, forearm plank. Come down to your forearms. So your hands can be together or your forearms can be parallel. That's up to you. Now set your feet. So your whole attention here will be on your feet. Even if you drop your knees, which is fine, keep your toes tucked and align through your feet. You're here for 30 more seconds. Press your heels all the way to the back of the room. Stretch your heels back. Good, Laura. And stretch the top of your head forward. Press your big toe mounds down into the mat. Now head forward. Good. And squeeze your heels to center. So squeeze in here. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Good. 10 more seconds. Firm up your legs. Firm up your core. 5, 4. Pull into your center. 3, 2. Downward facing dog on 1. Downward facing dog. Half pigeon, right side. So the alignment we worked today really is waking up the muscles on the outside of your hips. Come into your half pigeon as a way of reopening, re-softening that part of your body. Give that some love. Breathe in through your nose, open your mouth, take a couple sighs out. And then switch sides. And settle in, sighing through your mouth, relax your jaw, relax your face. And then walk up to your hands, swing your right leg forward, lie back, grab your strap. On your back, strap your right arch. Tail of the strap in each hand. Extend your right leg up. Extend your left leg long, both feet at 12 o'clock. So you'll flex your ankles. This is almost like standing single leg, but you fell backwards. Okay, now settle the back of each hip onto the floor. Take a breath in And on the exhale, pull on the strap tails to draw your foot towards the floor right behind your head. Go until you feel the stretch on the back of your leg, and then deep breaths through your mouth. One more. And on the exhale, put both strap tails into your right hand. Open your leg out to the right side. You can use your left hand on your left hip to tack your left hip down. Keep your left toes turned up towards the ceiling. One more breath. And then lift your right leg back up, unstrap, and switch sides. Loop the strap over your left arch, left leg up, right leg long against the mat. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, settle your foot towards the floor behind your head. So as I do this, when I hit the stretch, the first thing I hit is tension. Like I'm resisting the stretch, fighting it a bit. Take a sigh and soften into it. And it doesn't mean you have to go deeper, but can you let go of the grip? One more breath. As you exhale, both tails into your left hand, open your leg out to the left. Good. Rest your right hand on your right hip. Beautiful. And then can you sigh, relax a little into gravity, soften the grip. One more breath. And then come all the way back up to center. Unstrap your foot. Both legs up to the ceiling. So waterfall, if you're going to go with waterfall and you want to use the strap around your feet, which is nice, you can put the strap around both arches. What's nice about this is that your legs don't have to work so hard to stay up. So you get that quality of like, of discovering how to be easy with your legs straight. Where a lot of us tend to be very tense and tight about it, can your legs be straight and reaching without being tense? And the strap kind of gives you some help with that. So you would strap your feet and hold on to the strap. If you don't want to do that, you can just have your legs up. And if you'd like to go to shoulder stand, you can do that as well. Balance your effort with your ease. Deep breaths here. Oh, let me get you a longer strap, Davian. I'm probably coming in at the 11th hour with a long strap for you. There you go. Now bend your knees a little bit and bring your feet a bit more forward, like right about there. That's it. Good. If you're in shoulder stand, you can come to plow. Feet towards the floor behind your head. Hands to your mid-back if you're in plow. So you're supporting your weight with your hands, not your neck. Cool. And then from plow, bend your knees to your ears, Deaf Yogi. If you're in waterfall, hug your knees down into your chest. Curl your nose up into your knees into your nose. And then everyone roll out onto your back. One vertebra at a time. Drop your knees to the right. Your arms will look to the left. Supine twist. You're welcome. Good. Gather your knees back up through center. Change sides. And then come back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana. Take a breath in. Let a sigh come out. And then straighten your legs, Shavasana. There's a cool eye towel if you're in studio in the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Settle into the floor, get as still as possible, and feel the hum, the echo of the practice reverberating through your body as you rest. Take a breath in. Open your mouth side out. And gently hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms all the way around your knees. Give yourself a nice, big, deep squeeze. And then roll to your right side. Okay, press your left hand down into the floor. Come up to a seat. Create a powerful seat. And then bring your palms together at the center of your heart. Roll your shoulders up and back and lift your heart up into your thumb knuckles. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Take a breath in and clear the space. Then pause for a moment and feel for the day ahead of you. Have a sense of the day ahead. And anything gleaned in your practice around the quality of balance, what it takes to balance, what it takes to stay balanced. And what wisdom did you discover today that could apply to the rest of your day? It's a way of shining the flashlight on what's possible. See that, set that intention for your day, and we'll close with 3 final ohms. Inhale. Lift your thumb knuckles to the center of your forehead. Take a breath in. Blow it out through your mouth. And together we say, Namaste. Namaste. Great job this morning, everybody. Good job, everyone at home. Lisa, good to see you. She's always got the puppy kisses after class. That's a nice way to end practice. So cute. Beth, good to see you. Those of you in studio, the cool eye towels can go in the hampers right outside the door as you head out. There's a pink basket in front of the props. You can drop your assist card in there. And any props you borrowed, if you borrowed straps today, just put them on the floor in front of the prop area. We'll make sure they get good and clean. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. If you have questions about 40 days or any other things going on at the studio, feel free to ask.